It's the one and only 5D Transformations, and I'm back. In this video, the first thing I want to let you all know is I officially have all my courses available on my Patreon for $50 a month. Um, this is huge because I've essentially, not only have all of my courses, that's my Pyramidian coaching program. That's also my dating and relationship course, my MBTI course that you have access to. Untethered, how to stay free from narcissists, how to untangle from narcissists, um, and all my other videos that I've done exclusively for my members, for my members, people who are part of the 5D Transformations membership or the Patreon. So now I moved everything that was on my websites and I put them all on that Patreon so you can access it. So check that out. Take advantage of it while it's there. Um, Next, the big thing I want to touch on is about the mind and about understanding master God body, what that means. You know, Pyramidian coaching is all about connecting to the 5D, the fifth dimension. When I say master God body, master is about mastery. When you master something, you understand it and inside out. And that's how we need to understand ourselves. And that's what Pyramidian coaching is all about. So another big offer I have is the Pyramidian Gold one-on-one um, membership. It's for 30. It's monthly, so you just do it for a month. And the goal is it's a transformation program. So it's 4 weeks. So we do 4 sessions. We do one session a week, and I work with you throughout the week, different text communications to help you. And we put a plan together, and we make sure that within that month you see new results happening. Doesn't matter what area of life. I am a holistic performance coach, so I'm here to help you in different areas achieve where you want to go. And it's all about having knowledge of self. That's why the MBTI information I have is very important. So just keep that in mind. So now let's get to the message, the game, wisdom, knowledge that I have to share with you. And what that boils down to is understand that you have to trust your first thought. I've talked about this before, but I gotta go a little further. Now, some people have impulsive, crazy first thoughts that they want to act on, right? And it's like, don't go with your first thought if it's negative. Well, if you have a positive energy toward it, that is the discernment, right? The discernment boils down to how do you feel about that thought, right? It's about alignment. And what you're looking for is a clear pathway from your higher self, which we can say when we say master God body. The God element is your higher self. The body is your 2 feet that are on the ground right now. That's your physical body. Well, what happens is by mastering the understanding of your internal self and the external world around you, right? As within, so without, you, the goal is to build your inner world. You want to imagine the most beautiful things. You want to imagine yourself at the highest pinnacle. You want to keep things around you that remind you of your greatness, things that connect you to where you're going, where you want to be, because it's about alignment. So when you know, I want to be at this, let's say that North Star, you know what I mean? You're looking at that, right? And you're looking north at that. And, that alignment comes down, you know where you want to be, but then you're here looking around in a physical body. And boom, it's about alignment. By being aligned with that, by being aligned with your greatness, when you're in the world, it will reflect out. That's why we put so much energy into understanding our inner world and bolstering it and having a high, royal, powerful image of yourself. Because the more depth that your inner world has and the more power you have in the inner world, it's going to reflect in the outer world. As within, so without. Everyone around us has their own inner world. And the outer world essentially is the world where we all come and showcase. You know what I mean? That's the world where everyone's inner world intermingles in the outer world. But everyone's outer world can only be can only be so amplified based on the internal world. If your internal world is weak, your external world will be weak. Now, there are people who are very dull and internally may not be the sharpest tools in the shed. And externally, they can put on a big persona. You know, we all know people. Narcissists do that a lot of the time. But at the same time, there is an alignment in how they see themselves and how they express themselves. And it can bolster a lot of those types of people. Um, and in a lot of cases, the people who are good natured, you know, a lot of time they get in their own way because they're always dealing with reality. They're always dealing with what's on the ground. So they're disconnected from the Godhead. They're disconnected from their higher self. So you know, the way they feel, the way they react to things is based on what's going on around them. And so they might have a day where they're feeling powerful and happy. Then something breaks that, and then, you know, or something negative happens, and then they're like, oh man, then they feel bad again. And we all go through that. You know what I mean? We all go through that. So, but the key is, how do you reconnect back to that alignment? How do you go, okay, right now, this human situation has me feeling negative. How do I connect back to that powerful place I was at? And what you do is, there's two things you can do. You can imagine yourself at that highest level where you see yourself. That's all part of your inner world. You can connect and imagine yourself in that higher world. And then imagine how much bigger that is compared to whatever situation you're facing. Right. And for those of you whose imagination, you know, that's one way, using the imagination, visualization. Another way is looking at the things you've accomplished that align with that higher self. So you might have something that threw you off, but you might have done 3, 4, 5 other things that are connected with your purpose. And a lot of the time we toss all of that out because this negative situation, you know, you could be feeling aligned and then you get knocked into chaos. And now it's like, how do I find my way back? And for a lot of people, it takes a little while, but your power is going to be in your ability to not have that take that long. And the way you do that is by connecting with another thought that's a little better than the one that's negative, that connects you to where you want to go. Once you connect with that thought, boom, you're going to begin to have a much easier time connecting back to the higher self and being one. Because the goal is to carry that with you at all times. Life is always going to be knocking things over, for, you know what I mean? And things are going to be happening, but it's about how you see yourself and connecting back to that higher self so that it builds that momentum. Because you can do something great and then the next second have a negative thought about it, you know, so that's key. The key is having a powerful inner world and constantly staying connected to that. We are in the outer world. There's things that we have to improve. You might want to feel like a king or a god, and in reality, there's things that aren't working the way you would like. So we still move toward those things, right? But we have to build the inner world so that when we show up in the outer world, we're ready for what's out there for us. You know what I mean? You can do all the right things and still not get where you want to be, because at the end of the day, you're not aligning with it. We don't want to chase, we want to align. And so trusting your first thought is going to put you in a position where when it gives you that, when your higher self gives you that act, oh, I like that. Boom, talk to it. Oh, this person's interesting. Hey, what's going on? It's about being in alignment. And let's say you're not the most social person. It can be, oh, let me buy that book. Boom, buy it. Certain things. Oh, let me go on this walk. Let me walk. You know what I mean? And you'll start to see things happen. And the whole idea is to create one communication line between your higher self, the highest version of how you see yourself, that highest vision of yourself. Between that, you know, that high version self-talk, connecting that down into your physical world. So you're here, you're imagining these powerful things, and then you're moving through the world, and that's emanating out in the world. That's your aura. That's essentially what aura is. It all begins in the mind. And then you're in your powerful vibration, and you're trusting your first thought. You're taking actions based on your first thought because you know you're in a positive vibration and you feel aligned. And then when you do get knocked off of your center, what do? You stop for a second, you imagine yourself in the place you want to be, or you look at the things in your life that are in a good place, and you spend time kind of basking in that. And as your energy begins to build back up and you feel powerful again, or you feel connected, you go right back to connecting back to that original thought. And remember, when you look at what you've done. And when you look at your vision, it's so much bigger than the problem you're dealing with. So remember that as well. When you compare the problem to the bigger picture, you realize that that problem is much smaller, in most cases than we realize. So that's my message to you. It's the one and only 5D Transformations, Coach Johnny, God Johnny, as I call myself when it comes to my music. But yeah, reach out to me at your5dtransformations@gmail.com if you're interested in the Pyramidian Gold coaching. We can do a discovery call, see if if it's a good fit, see if we can really identify what it is that you're looking to do, and then from there we can do that. And like I said, you can go check out the Patreon. And aside from that, I appreciate you all listening. It's the one and only. See y'all in the next video. Peace.